Conservatives were right all along. America is being destroyed. The empire will fall. This doesn't have to be the outcome, but it definitely seems to be the path that we're on, but not quite for the reasons that the typical American conservative believes. Here's the reality. America is primed for a dictatorship. America is primed to become oligarchy, to become a version of places like Russia, where the 1% really take hold of an entire country at the expense of millions of poor and middle-class people, living in their super yachts while regular people are struggling to eat and survive. Now, I know typical conservative hearing this is going to automatically think that this is going to be a Trump-bashing video or going after MAGA or any of the like that you might see in a typical left-wing channel. But this is not a left-wing channel. This is not a right-wing channel. This is not a centrist channel. This is not a contrarian channel. This is not a business. I'm not trying to run a business. I'm not trying to make money doing this. Not trying to be famous, not looking for attention. I'm certainly not bored. I certainly have a lot better things to be doing and very important things that I should be doing that need to get done. But I choose to do this because the things I talk about are things that really matter to me. I actually do care about this stuff. And I really like to help people to unplug from their tribes, unplug from propaganda, and to join me in the real world. And in that real world, it's not all surrounding one man, Donald Trump. In fact, let's go along with a typical conservative argument. I'm going to agree with you, right? For the sake of trying to make my point. Let's say that Donald Trump is actually a good guy, or, well, let's not say good guy, right? Because I know there's the argument that he's not a good guy, but he's a vehicle to accomplishing things that are very important to them. Like if you care about abortion, stopping abortion, or whatever it is that you are connected to him. So let's put that aside. We're not going to say he's a good guy or a bad guy. Let's just accept the argument that he's a true patriot. He really loves this country. He's really trying to make this country great again, whatever that means to you. I'm going to completely accept that argument. He's not a traitor. He's doing the best that he can to fight for regular Americans, trying to make the country better. Even accepting that argument as true, there is a massive problem. And that problem is what I see, why I say that we are headed towards a dictatorship. We're headed towards the fall of America. And I'm not saying this in any way connecting to like Trump is going to do it, or MAGA is going to do it, or the GOP is going to do it. This is what I'm pointing out. If we accept that Donald Trump is actually being honest and he's trying to help the country and trying to be a patriot, trying to make the country better, the problem still ends up being, that's amazing that you're watching this video and you haven't clicked on the like button and you haven't subscribed yet. That's really, actually, it's not amazing. Anyway, continue watching the video. So you believe Donald Trump is genuinely fighting for America, a patriot who truly wants to make the country great again. But let's accept that as true. Now consider this. Trump has now won the presidency twice, despite years of controversy, countless red flags, and fierce opposition. If we assume he's everything his supporters believe, a champion of the people, there's still a deeper, more urgent issue we need to confront. The fact that Trump could win twice, even with so many questions about his rhetoric, his past, and his choices and allies, reveals a vulnerability in our democracy. It's not about Trump himself. This isn't about whether you love or hate him. It's about what his success shows us. Our system allows someone with significant red flags to rise to the highest office in the land. That should make us pause. Now imagine a future where someone comes along who isn't a patriot, someone who doesn't have America's best interests at heart, but who's far more calculated, disciplined, and polished. This person could exploit our divisions, appeal not just to one political base, but to both sides, and use the very same playbook that paved Trump's way to power: charisma, populist rhetoric, and a cult of personality. But this person wouldn't stop at controversial tweets or rhetoric. They could systematically dismantle our democracy piece by piece while we cheer them on. The danger isn't Trump. It isn't the realization that our system and we as voters are willing to overlook warning signs if the person speaks to our frustrations, fears, or hopes. If someone with glaring red flags can win twice, what happens when someone with even more dangerous intentions and fewer visible flaws steps onto the stage? History is full of examples of democracies that didn't collapse overnight but fell slowly because people dismissed warning signs, thinking it couldn't happen here. We are at a crossroads in America. Will we continue to ignore the deeper vulnerabilities in our system, or will we confront them before it's too late? If you're still unconvinced, consider these questions. If a future leader could appeal to both sides, your side and the other, what safeguards would stop them from abusing that trust? How do we ensure our democracy protects us from a leader with dangerous intentions who can disguise them better than Trump ever could? What will future generations say about how we responded to this moment. Did we take the hard path of self-reflection, or did we dismiss the signs until it was too late? These aren't just rhetorical or theoretical questions. They're the choices we face today. The road we take now will determine whether America remains strong and free, or whether we leave the door open for a future that looks more like the oligarchies and authoritarian regimes we claim to stand against. What will you choose? And my final question: if we accept in the future that there exists a person who actually is the way that the liberals present Trump, right? So you as a conservative, you disagree, right? It's hysteria, it's liberal media, it's the corrupt Democrats, it's election interference, it's lawfare. Okay. However, if in the future someone comes along who is actually a threat in the way that the Democrats present, in the way that the liberals present, if that person actually comes along in the future, that person definitely has a chance of also winning the presidency and also, presenting a severe damage to this country, right? Because, again, the lack of impact, right? I should say lack of impact, because obviously there's a lot of people who don't like Trump, right? But the inability of a lot of concerning, red flags, the inability of that to absolutely crush anyone who's running for the presidency suggests that a clever person, very tactical person who is very charismatic can pretty much very easily, I won't even get into that. And my final question to you, conservatives or Trump voters, Trump supporters: if Trump really was a threat to this country and was tricking or manipulating you, how would you be able to tell? If a future leader comes along and starts pandering to you and talking about the things that they see you have the most reaction to, whether it's abortion, or are you concerned about woke policies or trans issues, if a leader comes along and just echoes back all the stuff that they see you engaging with highly on social media, would you be able to see through the manipulation and pandering and recognize their true intentions? How sure are you that you have the ability to not be manipulated by a future politician who's going to see what's happening right now, how people who put out the rhetoric that is popular in right-wing media can basically do no harm, as long as they stick with the team, keep saying what the team likes, keep attacking the other team, and keep defending your team? If that's all it takes to operate above the law, as it were, no consequences, then again, even if you believe that everyone that you trust in right-wing media and conservative politicians, even if you trust that all these people are who you think they are, if they weren't, would you really be able to tell? Are you sure? Something to think about. This is Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.